Hi, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where in the world you are as you're watching this video cast. I am Diane Krakora, CEO of PartnerPath, and welcome to this week's Technology Channel video cast. With me on the other coast, I've got my partner in crime, Charlene O'Hanlon. Hi, Charlene, how you doing?
I'm great, Diane. How are you?
I am great. Spring is in the air here in California. It is beautiful.
Yeah, I think spring here just doesn't want to happen. I'm convinced. Although today it's mid 50s and sunny, so I'm not complaining too much. But I always feel disappointed during spring because it never seems to get here.
Yeah, and with that spring, I also think that there's a lot of marriages going on in the technology world these days. So we're going to talk a little bit about M&A in today's video cast. We've just seen a plethora of new acquisitions happening. Again, it just seems like every spring we see a whole bunch of these come through. HPE bought Nimble, Palo Networks bought LightCyber, Verizon bought and just closed their acquisition of XO, and all these guys have channels, and just wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about what it means to a channel when two technology companies merge or are acquired. And one of the things that is definitely the only thing that is certain in an acquisition is uncertainty.
Right, right. Obviously, the channel programs are not going to be the same post-acquisition, especially when the little guys are getting eaten up by the big guys, and the big guys think they have a better channel program. You can forget about the little guys program sticking around post-acquisition. And that's really sad, because if you think about some of these companies, they're pretty innovative, and they've got some ideas that may or may not filter into their channel programs that I think the bigger guys could really take a cue from.
Yeah, typically we see one of three things happen when you're talking about an acquisition around a program. One, that the littler guys, as you said, get fed into the bigger guys, and it's almost like, hey, come back and fill out the form and join the program. We see this a lot with Oracle whenever they acquire somebody small, that the partners are the smaller guys basically just have to apply for the new program. So that's one. The second thing is that they try to do some sort of a merge of programs and kind of take the best of both worlds, which is what we really always try to encourage them. How do you take the best of both worlds, look at kind of the programs, assess the strengths and the weaknesses and what both kind of ecosystems are used to, and how do you really bring them together? And then the third thing is kind of a do nothing. They stay separate, which we often see when the organization is held as a subsidiary. So it's usually, if they're going to bring them together, it's either suck it up and join the new program, or hopefully some sort of a merge.
So in your experience, Diane, have you ever seen a larger company acquire a smaller company and actually adopt that smaller company's channel program, like full blown?
Never is it full blown, but we have seen them adopt some of the innovative ideas from those programs and trying to bring them together. Because one of the key things that we stress in an acquisition, particularly if you have a channel, is that you don't acquire a channel. Mm-hmm. You have to seduce those partners all over again, right? You might acquire a technology, you might acquire some people in that acquisition, but you do not acquire a channel. So to be able to, if you want that organization and those people as channel partners to continue to sell the solution that you're buying, you need to really figure out how to be attractive to those partners. And that's why kind of the merging idea and taking what's best of both worlds together keeps both sets of partners happy.
It's kind of interesting if you think about it also, with an acquisition also may signal a good time for channel partners to really take stock in who they're partnering with, and see if this new larger company really fits within what their business model, what their parameters are. And it might be a good opportunity for these guys to really kind of call their vendor partner ranks and customize, specialize a little bit more to make sure that the technology that they're offering truly is within what they're how they're positioning themselves as a solution provider.
Right. There's a lot of uncertainty for the solution providers when they even hear of an inkling of an acquisition, right? Certainly there's going to be change. Does the program change? Do the products change? Do they run out the products that I wanted to sell? Are they going to stick around? Right. So that's why a lot of communication early and often, as much as you can. I know it's not always easy in an acquisition to be able to really communicate, what's at least the product strategy. These guys as channel partners have placed bets on the technology and the revenue stream that they've got from both companies as those organizations then merge.
And then also, I think communication from the vendors regarding how they're going to support those partners and their business models, especially as we see more solution providers kind of moving to this. You and I have talked about it a million times already, moving to this more solutions-oriented approach, being less of a vendor's channel partner and more of a solution provider. So, you have to make sure as a solution provider, you have to make sure that the vendors you're aligning with will support that business model as you move more toward solutions and less and more away from the vendors themselves, the technology.
Yep, lots to think about as there's acquisitions happening, and just leave you with 4 points to work through if you're either being acquired or acquiring. First, assess what you've got from your channels as well as your programs. Second, decide what are you going to do. Are you going to merge them together or have one be able to go, have to adopt the second one? Communicate how you communicate to partners, and then execute flawlessly. Just 4 easy things.
Or that last one may not be so easy. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a flawless execution, but that's
flawless. Well, thank you, Charlene, as always, for bantering about these hot topics with me. If you guys have any comments or questions, please go ahead and add them into the question and comment bar, and we will see you next week.
Thanks, Diane.